yeah, you wanted to talk about cremation earlier.
No, just that death thing that I saw. Just that it's so profound, man. Like, a lot of people are okay with the conventional, just getting burnt in a box and scattered like ashes.
Well, not really burnt in a box, yeah. I just thought coffin when you said that. I was like, they're not burning people in coffins. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah, man.
But also like they put in a box after.
Yeah, it's just so crazy. But that process is so taxing on the environment that maybe that's even a contributing factor. But the thing that I was watching had all sorts of other alternatives, and even one was like the mushroom suit. So they like inoculate a suit that they'll put on you with this mushroom that breaks you down, like turn you back into nutrients. So instead of like paying for even that, the coffin itself, there's a landmass. Obviously, that wood didn't just come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
A tree sat somewhere, was cut down to make a casket.
Yeah.
Fuel was used to burn you, and you needed to become ash so that you could be cremated.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And this mushy suit, shit, I don't know what it would cost, man. You wear so many clothes over the course of your life. One set of clothes ain't gonna have it extra, except this one turns you back into nutrients.
Yeah. You just go back and decompose back into the environment.
Yeah.
Dude, I was also keen on that. Like, also when some people ask me, I was like, just throw me out in the field and the forest will take me. but in 2021, Oaks will be like, what the fuck? You can't just leave a body in the field.
Yeah.
Like,
so it's problematic.
No, that's the thing. There's also.
But I've told you about that one that I dug, the vultures.
Yeah, that did sound very nasty.
Taken up to the mountains, they cut your most fleshy parts, the vultures that are seen as sacred, eat your meat, which is supposed to ascend your spirit, and they take your bones back down for burial. So they bury your bones, which will eventually degrade.
Because your bones are just bones. Like, they're not going to go away anytime quickly.
Well, they will eventually.
Yeah, eventually, but not quickly.
Like, dinosaur bones that we get are mostly preserved. It's not like it's just a bone that was in the ground. Most of those will break down. Bones break down underground, man.
Over time.
Yeah, over time. But that's the thing. It's not like a gravestone.
The thing is,
cement.
Personally, I'd also find it more respectful to just be taken back as part of the earth. Where I came from, just put me back.
Yeah, but
like
even if you look at a cemetery as what it is, dude, you're literally designating land to growing dead bodies, because you can't dig up a body to put a fresh one down. The land expanse simply grows. So you're growing a land mass of just dead bodies.
That is quite odd.
That's so crazy.
But it is what it is.
Yeah, we just keep land open. Like I know that there was like Indian burial grounds and things like in America. But that's where I believe like where the bones were buried. It wasn't like, oh, we were keeping this spot for Jeff because he paid for it back on this date. That's why there's a stone here that says this is Jeff. I don't think that should have been the case. I think it should just be like it is an ancient burial ground. Like the elephants will travel to bones. It's supposed to be a place where, cool. We took the guy up to the hill, spirit did its thing, bones that came back here. That's where everyone's bones go, so we just keep putting them there, dude. Yeah. And you might find that that's probably the most like full of nourishment place where there might be an exponential growth in the environment because it's getting all this extra nutrients.
Well, that's also a weird argument of like the way we live now, and because animals aren't tracking over our land and not shitting on it, and every time we pick up our dog shit and this and that, like there are some people who put nutrients on their like grass or whatever, but some people just pave their houses and things like that.
Things just aren't the same.
But there aren't actual nutrients going into the ground again.
Yeah.
And we are organic beings. We are part of that.
Stripping it from the ground. Every chow you have, that was stripped nutrients from the land, man. The land had to feed that before you could chow it.
Yeah. So it would be logical to go back and feed it again. Well, I don't know, Mars.
Dude, it's 100%.
Like return the favor, dude. Like shout out, dog.
I think that's the best results that we got in my dad's garden was going full organic, just turning everything back into the soil.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of help where we added some things for specific things to fruit properly, but other than that, all of the nutrients that we gave was straight from our ground. Everything got turned back into compost. It's crazy, man.
and just can carry on cycling and serving like itself.
Or
future generations of itself. Like some of that is like
it is. So what it took out of the soil to grow that structure is now going to be broken down to grow that same structure all over again, but maybe in a different plant.
Yes.
And depending on which plant you chow, that's going to be a different part of you. But it's such a wild.
Yeah, but that's also a huge thing, like the you are what you eat thing.
100%.
Like since I've changed my diet, I've honestly felt different to the way I was before. I don't think the way I was eating suited my way of being. Like it made me feel sick. Well, not really made me feel sick, but there was a stage where I lost a lot of weight.
One could argue that the current diet of the average human is just not right.
Yeah.
That maybe we have passed the point of having a nutritious meal over just having food for comfort.
Yeah.
It's easy to go and get a burger because it tastes good, costs like $30.
Well, not even more, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. But, you know, gives you a full feeling for a little while.
Yeah.
It tastes great, dude. But then you wake up the next day, you're starving. So what do? You're either going to go buy more chow, or you're going to fucking make yourself a meal. Like,
yeah.
Do you want to spend time doing it? Do you want to use ingredients to make it, or do you want to go just shoot for a pretty quick burger?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is also I've like in the last year also started enjoying cooking more, like to be part of the meal.
Yeah, you were there. Like you saw how that guy became part of your chow.
Yeah,
it wasn't just like here's a thing on your plate. It's I chopped that guy. He looks like that because I sat there.
Well, even some of the veggies I got from my garden, dude. So it was.
That's what I also used to do. Yeah. Do you ever see how they like peel carrots, but with like a weird peeler that makes like grooves?
No.
I'll show you some shit.
Oh, wait.
So they're like from the side of the carrot, even leave like an indentation.
Yeah.
So when you chop it,
so it's like being chiseled in pieces.
Yeah, but when you chop it from the side now, it comes out looking like stars and shit, depending on where you put those grooves.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So in this vertex, you scrape it and then you chop it. Yeah. Changes everything.
Okay.
So when you're cooking your chow, you're like, oh, check it out, like a little star, guys, because you sat and made that star.
Yeah. Fair enough, dude.
Yeah, that's why I used to look at like those.
I'm not that hectic into cutting that, dude. I just literally like I'm like,
dude, change it. But there you go, dude. Like some might come out all like fucked up and shit.
Yeah.
But, you know,
you get some wonky looking things, but it's
that's true, dude. That's why I remember when my mum used to make cookies. Like at first, I never used to give a shit. I was in it for the dough. I didn't care about the cookies. They were going to get made regardless.
Dude, the dough is the best.
Yeah.
Dude. I'll also destroy that shit, dude. I'll be licking the spoon before I even make any muffins, dude. Or biscuits or anything. Yeah.
But I never used to care how they were made. I just cared about the dough until I started making them. Then I sat and I made them perfect.
Yeah.
The ones that came out all cut, I had to eat. I made them for me. So when I saw it, I was like, yes, this guy. He doesn't look so great. You look at him twice and like, whoa.
Yeah, this could be a frisbee.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So that's where I started taking more time and like almost a pride. I was like, oh, cool. If I make him a little bit more of a ball and I squish him proper with the fork, he comes out looking better. But don't squish him all the way to the pan that he like bucks out and burns in the middle.
Yeah. But that's also like just taking it on yourself to present it the way you want to. Even like weirdly, like another angle of that could even be like uncomfortability of driving a car with someone else. Like it's nice when you're driving the car, but when someone else is driving it, sometimes you're like,
you feel your brake foot touching the ground, boy.
Sitting there slamming the ground.
Oh man.
Yeah.
No, definitely.
Jeez. Oh wait.
We made it through quite a bit actually.
Dude, we've covered a fuck ton.
In quite a long amount of time.
Anyone that want to look what this is? It's like literally that.
Literally that.
My handwriting is not the best. His was way better. But yeah. Definitely, we covered gang, dude.
Yeah, I think that's expensive.
It was actually very nice, dude. We actually went quite deep at some points, dude. Yo.
It'll be cool to reflect and look back on.
Yeah, dude, it's going to be quite wild to watch. Dude. Even that last one to watch again was a weird thing, eh?
It's a cool log of your own thoughts.
Yeah.
Regardless of someone listening to it, to go and hear it yourself.
No, it's just a very odd experience, dude, because I never really got deep into the selfie thing or this thing or that thing, so I'm not often taking photos of myself or anything, so like, At first, it was a little bit odd. This
So
is like
looking at footage of just you. Like when you're taking a photo of someone else, it's someone else. It's not.
Dude. Like, I'm used to being a camera behind the camera, dude.
Not the subject.
Dude, it's an odd one to get into, dude. Honestly, dude, it's very odd to navigate, dude. Because also public speaking is not my thing at all. Like,
Not my thing.
yeah,
So it's more comfortable this time for sure.